A very good evening to you. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Sports Tonight. This is the Thursday night edition of the show. And of course, we have plenty lined up for you. My name is Tony Ibitoye. I'd like to start by saying a very big thank you to you for joining us. And also assure you that this is not going to be a waste of time, because what we'll be doing is to serve you our very best, update you with the latest in the world of sports. We'll be touching on domestic stories, continental stories, international stories. We have everything packed into the next 45 minutes for you on Sports Tonight this Thursday. Thank you once again for joining us. Let me just quickly give you an idea of what you should expect to see on the program tonight. Of course, we will reflect on all stories about the Super Eagles of Nigeria. The latest FIFA rankings comes under focus as well. We'll be taking a look at that on the program tonight. We'll talk about the Falcons. We will spend time to look at the Globe Premier League. What are the stories coming out from the Globe Premier League? We will also spend some time to talk table tennis. The African Junior Championship is coming to a close. It's ending tomorrow in Egypt. What's the story? How does it affect Team Nigeria? We'll talk about that as well on the program this Thursday. Tuesday, Wednesday night, massive games in the UEFA Champions League. Tomorrow we'll be having the draw for the semifinals. Who draws who? We'll talk about it as well on Sports Tonight. And as we speak right now, games are going on in the Europa League. We will update you with the results as well as we go along on the show this Thursday. For those of you who regularly watch us on Thursdays, you remember that Thursdays are our special days for basketball. Tonight, Femi Adefeso will be joining me. Yemi Adebayo is off, needs to take a break now, and he will be away for a while. But Femi Adefeso is on the show tonight, and he's got plenty of basketball stories that he wants to share with us on the show tonight. There's plenty to talk about: the men, the women, domestic basketball, grassroots, international basketball. Plenty for you. So if you are a lover of basketball, please stay tuned. Femi has got plenty for us on the program tonight. So please, that's just what the show will be all about. But let me start this way to tell you that this show is incomplete without you. We need you to make this show a complete show. How do we make it complete? Your contributions, your thoughts, your opinion, your reaction to issues as we raise them on the show is what we need to make this show a complete show. We don't want to do all the talking. We want to hear from you. So you can give us your thoughts, give us your opinion to issues as we raise them on the program tonight, taking advantage of the platforms showing on your screen on Facebook, Channels iPhone Sports, and of course via Twitter, Channels_Sports, and of course my handle at Tony Ibitoye. Will expect that your comments and your thoughts will come through as we go on the show tonight. Well, I'm starting off Sports Tonight this Thursday alone, but then it's not a show, it's not a one-man show. A whole lot of people are working behind the scene, working with me to make this one as enjoyable as possible. But let me start off and tell you about the rankings. Today, once again, the World Soccer Governing Body, FIFA, released the rankings of soccer playing nations. And the rankings have come out for the month of March. Well, good one. At least the Eagles are not stagnant. The Eagles have moved up 2 places. So the Eagles are now 45 in the world from what they were before. They were 47 the last time. Now we've moved up 2 places. We're now 45 in the world. Let me take you through the rankings of African countries, the top 10 teams in Africa. The Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire, they've been number 1 in Africa for a very long time. They are still number 1 in Africa. They are number 21 in the world. And Egypt are really putting pressure on the Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire. They are number 2 now, overtaking Ghana. They are number 2 and number 24 in the world. Algeria, number 3 in Africa, 25 in the world. Ghana have dropped to 4th in Africa, 38 in the world. Cape Verde are 5th in Africa, 42 in the world. And Nigeria, 6th in Africa, 45th in the world. Tunisia, of course, 7th in Africa, 49th in the world. We have Cameroon in 8th place in Africa, number 50 in the world. Guinea, 9th in Africa, 51 in the world. And Mali completing the top 10 for Africa. They are number 59 in the world. That's what it looks like. That's the ranking of soccer playing nations in Africa by the World Soccer Governing Body, FIFA. Now let's go to the main guys, the top 10 in the world. Spain, I can't remember the last time they were not number 1. It's a long time ago, and they've been there for God knows how long. They are number 1. Germans are closing in. They're number 2. Portugal, number 3. Colombia, number 4. Uruguay, 5. Argentina, Nigeria's World Cup opponents, group opponents, number 6. Brazil joined 6 with Argentina. And of course, no 7, straight to 8. Switzerland. And of course, 9. Italy. Number 10 is Greece. That completes the top 10 soccer playing nations in the world. Released, of course, by the World Soccer Governing Body, FIFA. A lot of people don't read too much into the rankings, but when the rankings matter, they do matter. It's a World Cup year, so we can really not look too much into the rankings. We need to get our acts together to go to the World Cup, beat anybody that we meet, and see how the Eagles will soar in that ranking, the FIFA ranking. All right, let's come home, and this time, not about the Super Eagles, let's talk about the Super Falcons. And yesterday, we were talking about the Super Falcons and the friendly against the indomitable Lionesses of Cameroon. Well, the story is that there's been a shift in date. Nigeria-Cameroon friendly, initially proposed for April 15, has been postponed by 2 weeks. Now that game comes up on the 29th of April. It's an international friendly meant to prepare both teams, Nigeria and Cameroon, for qualifying games to the African Women's Championship that will be taking place in Namibia later this year. But let's also tell you that the postponement or the shift in date is not at Nigeria's instance. It was at the instance of the Cameroonians who proposed this friendly in the first place. So that friendly game, Nigeria-Cameroon, meant to prepare both teams for the African Women's Championship qualifier, no longer taking place on the 15th of April. It will now take place on the 29th of April. Whichever date that game is played, it is a fantastic test for our girls to prepare, of course, for the African Women's Championship. Don't forget, we are no longer African champions at this level. We lost the crown to Equatorial Guinea, but we can reclaim the crown. And that's what the Nigerian Football Federation have been doing, putting friendlies together. The girls are currently camped in Abuja, and players, 7 of them, have been dropped. According to Coach Edwin Okon, they have not measured up, and they've been told to go. All right, so we'll tell you more about the girls later on, maybe next week, and see how they're shaping up for the challenges that lie ahead. Okay, time for us to switch now. Donadio Konta will be joining me in the next couple of minutes, but let's bring you highlights from one of the games played over the weekend in the Globe Premier League. This one will take you to Sapele and bring you highlights of the game between Bayelsa United and El Kaneme Warriors of Maiduguri. We're bringing you the highlights, the good goals scored in that game, beautiful goals before the controversial part, and also use that to serve as a reminder to the league management company that we are waiting for an official pronouncement on the state of that game. Is it 1-1? Is it 2-1? Is it 3.3 goals to the away team or to the home team? What is the decision? This is just a reminder to the LMC. Sit back, enjoy the highlights, and then we'll come back for more on Sports Tonight.